It's a shame the way you mess around with your life. Okay. In episode number 189, we talking about should we bring shame back? Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, you two? We're back at you with another episode of Making the Case, episode number 189. Before we talk about what we're talking about, I'm your host, Dr. Jacob Isom. We got two channel norms over here. One, we'll take points on our people. Two, we won't do all that cussing derogatory stuff because we like to keep it professional over here. Okay. Now, I know you've heard this topic before, so we're gonna get into it. Should we bring back shame? Now, I know you thinking, when did we ever shame people? Well, to be honest with you, shame has never really went anywhere. We just kind of when we went through our political correct era, which we still kind of in, we kind of cut back on it because we got sensitive as a society. Let's just be real. Okay. At one point, yes, it was, fairly normal to shame people. Now, I'm not necessarily talking about fat shaming, even though I think that was more acceptable at one point as well. I'm not talking about shaming when it comes to sexuality or things of that nature. I'm talking about socially accountability. Okay. When it comes to having children out of wedlock, when it comes to a person appearance, things of that nature, right? People used to get, publicly, I don't want to say publicly humiliated or publicly embarrassed, but sometimes it did lead to that, right? So should we bring that back in order to change people's behavior? We know that people go with fads, trends, right? So if it's socially acceptable, most people are going to do it. Okay. So if we shame it and say that, hey, this is not what you supposed to be doing, this is not cool, all right, then could we possibly see a change in our society, a change in people's behavior? I think it's worth a try. Now I'm not saying that we should just go around just shaming everybody willy nilly just because we feel like it, but I think we need to set some parameters, some standards, to what's acceptable behavior and what is not. So that's kind of the bandwagon that I'm willing to hitch, myself to. All right. So without further ado, I have some different perspectives on shaming. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it and see if you agree or disagree with it. All right. So let's get into our first clip.
Well received. You want to seem like the nice person. So you tell them what they want to hear, but you see how it's impacting their life on the long run, and you're just going to sit there and say nothing. If you're the person in this situation, I'm sorry if this is the rude wake-up call, but you're going to need to hear this. You need to take care of yourself. You need to put yourself in the right position so that you can become the best version of yourself. Why have we just accepted mediocrity? You want to be well received.
And I agree with him. Because we have accepted being mediocre, right? We have accepted being lied to. We have accepted stagnation. Um, the people that are around us, a lot of time they just placate to us and they're not honest, right? Because they just want to be around us to have fun and to benefit, not to actually be a true, you know, guide and someone who's really telling us what it is, right? So oftentimes when we talking about shaming, we're just talking about telling the truth. And really that's what it is, right? The moral of shaming is let me tell you about yourself, and it might not be the nicest way. Okay, but that's okay. And one thing that I often like to do is I like to tell the truth, regardless of how it's going to make you feel, in hopes that you can see that I'm not doing it to be mean spirited, but I'm doing it to get you to see the other side and get you to want to improve and want to be better. Right. So I think shaming, what's behind shaming is really just, holding up that mirror. All right. Let's get into our next clip.
thing, and it needed to be a thing.
Yeah.
And so
we
now
needed that.
now everything is just
Yeah.
accept every single thing that happens. Don't do this to your allow your child is no, my child is not going to make that decision. He's 5.
Right.
He don't understand nothing. Shaming used to be a thing, and it needed to be a thing.
Yeah.
And so
we
now
needed that.
And I know that was very short, right? But it goes back to the notion that yes, you have to and the crazy part is funny. And this is not the reason why I did this topic, but I literally shamed my students today because they did poorly on the test. Yes, I did. Right. And I was very hard, as I am very hard on people, but that's how I operate, right? Because I want you to know that, no, this is not acceptable, right? I'm holding you accountable. Yes, you should feel bad, right? Now, I would say that it works on some students and some students it won't. Some kids, they just don't care. No different than some adults just don't care, right? So, no, you have to be the arbiter and you have to be the person like, no, this is not acceptable. No, this is not what I'm standing for as the leader, right? As someone that is just going to keep it all the way 100, as the kids say, right? So no, like shaming, it has to come with love, right? It has to be intentional and it can't be malicious, right? So I think you can shame with love, with pure intentions, and not be malicious with it. So I absolutely think we should bring shaming back. Let's get into our next clip.
It makes other people feel less ashamed. Well, why do you feel ashamed, buddy? You feel ashamed because in your heart, you know it's wrong. In Islam, in Arabic, there is a term called fitra. And fitra is your natural sense of right and wrong, the sense of right and wrong that you have before you've read a Torah, a Bible, or a Quran. It is your natural sense of like, oh, this feels wrong. This feels like I shouldn't do it. I can look and that looks like a bad thing. Your natural sense of right and wrong provides you shame. We're in a society that is against shame. Oh, don't fat shame. Is being fat not shameful? Last I checked, it is. Don't slut shame. Is being a slut not shameful? Last I checked, it is. The society does not want shame. We have people who are so mentally unwell that they want to feel good while doing bad. I repeat, they want to feel good while doing bad. That is evil. He said maybe.
And he's and I know, of course, he's very controversial. If any of y'all know who that young man is, but he speaks some isms from time to time, and I absolutely agree with this clip because yes, I think that naturally, and I posted this early on Facebook. Things feel good, right? To us, right? And of course, when we eat certain foods, it feel good to us. What we call comfort food, right? Of course, we know sex feel good when we have an orgasm, things of that nature, right? But when it comes to quote unquote right and wrong, it's a feeling that we get, right? And that's the whole idea behind shame, right? And the reason why we should bring it back is because we didn't get comfortable with doing things that are not good or great for us at the end of the day, right? Because we are now living in a society where we're telling people that they can do whatever they want to do, right? Think about this. You have people that will tell you, you have to accept me for who I am, take on my baggage, take on the things that come with that, and love me and stay with me, right? Just think about that, right? Instead of saying, you know what, you get yourself together and then we can match. But no, you have people that will just want you to accept whatever behavior or whatever it is they do, right? And that's because we've gotten rid of shame and now people get to say and do whatever they want to do. Even though we're in a politically correct climate, by the way, right? So that is the whole notion behind freedom, right? what all these rights and freedom have done, it is taken away shaming, it's taken away corrective behavior where it's hard to hold people accountable anymore. We just get to play the blame game instead of the shame game. Let's get into our last clip.
Close, man. You gotta cover your ass up, brother. Right. What's wrong with you out here, man? Nah, you funny, man. Literally. Yeah, look at you, brother. You funny as hell, man. Yeah, really, brother. Really, brother. Yeah, put on modest power, man. Cover your ass up, brother. Got your legs out here, man. Right? Gird yourself up like a man, brother. Right. Do you know who you are, King? Look at the kings of the earth. Okay, so tell us who you are. Who are you? You what?
Everybody has an opinion. Everybody think their opinion is warranted. Everybody think they can just voice and say whatever. Now, my problem with this particular video is he said what he said to old boy through the mic, and he was right in front of him. If you really was concerned or wanted to tell him something, you could have put the mic down. But no, you wanted to publicly shame him in front of everybody. And I'm surprised it didn't escalate. But I'm not saying you can't say your opinion. But people trying to say bring back shaming. This is what I've realized. If you don't give people attention based off the things they do or what they wear, they will stop doing certain things.
You gotta put on some clothes, man.
And I get what he's saying. I'm not saying he's wrong about what he's saying. A couple points I wanted to make. What the last part he said, it's not working, right? To say that, oh, we just can't give people attention. Well, first of all, they're getting attention. That's the reason why they're doing it. He wouldn't wear those shorts if he wasn't getting attention. And the clip shows that he got attention because somebody, now that public shaming really was public humiliation. Some may call it a ritual, right? So I don't necessarily agree with that because, like he said, he doing it on the mic where people on the street walking, and now you're bringing attention to that, right? I believe that you can do things privately. You can. It's all about respect, right? And all about how you do it, right? And the thing about it is, this is what I'll represent from the last clip. This is the society that we have allowed and we have set up for men to dress like this, for women to dress a certain way, for people to talk a certain way. This is what we have set up because of the absence of shaming, right? I'm not saying that we should ridicule, we should embarrass, like the clip showed of what he did. What I'm saying is there should be a certain standard. Now, people can do whatever they want to, but that doesn't mean we got to accept it, right? I think it's totally unacceptable that you have all these young girls, or even older women, with their bellies out and this spandex on, showing all their goodies, right? But since we remove shame, people get to dress and do whatever it is they want to do, right? And so now you have clips like this where somebody will go over the top with shame and it turns to embarrassment, anger, and it can escalate. Okay. All right. We're going to stop the video right there, man. Let me know what you think. Is shaming a good thing? Is shaming a bad thing? Is it a way to shame without being disrespectful? Let me know in the comments, man. But y'all know I appreciate y'all rocking with me. Like, share the video for me, please. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. But as always, I'm you are me. Love, always love, return. Remember, the worst thing you can do is lie to yourself. And we out. Deuces. One love.